Winning 50-50 decisions in business, 7 tips, 1 secret. I'm Arthur Petropoulos, managing partner here at Hillview Partners. We're a middle market, lower middle market M&A and capital advisory firm, helping companies sell their businesses, secure capital, primarily working with non-sponsored, family, entrepreneur, small investment group-owned companies generating $1 million to $10 million of EBITDA or pre-tax earnings. And so something sparked a thought the other day. We were working towards a prospective engagement that ultimately we attained, have been blessed to now pursue in representing our client. And we did feel that the exercise was really a 50-50 probability in terms of who we were going up against and trying to win the engagement, if you will. And so we were discussing internally saying, what really wins those jump balls? What really wins those 50-50 situations? And we started jotting down a list of them. So we're going to do a bit of a rapid fire today, but 7 things that can sometimes tilt the 49% to the 51% in any business situation, proposal, or otherwise that, at least from our experience, we've worked on. So the first of these is be on time. And whether it's a call, a Zoom meeting, actual in-person meeting, there's nothing that says I don't value your time and schedule more than being late to something. And things happen from time to time. We'll get into that into topic number 2. One of the simplest things anyone can do in business is be on time. So number 2, be respectful. Make it very clear that you do respect the other person's time, considerations, opinions. You don't have to agree on everything. Again, respect is not flattery. However, again, where I'm late to a meeting here or there, 2 minutes because a Zoom meeting or a call or another meeting ran late, initial thing we say is forgive us for being late. We respect your time. We were just trying to finish up the last commitment. We'll try to minimize that happening. And people will say, yeah, no worry about it. Don't worry, I was late too. But it does put something in someone's mind to say that this person is not taking their time for granted, which is, at the end of the day, the most valuable commodity someone's going to have. Number 3 is be prepared. You'd be amazed at how impactful, how competent you can come across in a meeting with 20 minutes, 10 minutes even, of preparation. Look up a few things. No matter what you're doing in business or what role you have, and you don't need to be a salesperson and you don't need to be running a company, but if you have to speak to someone that you haven't spoken with before, find out where they went to college and find out where they live. If at the very least you say, oh, you live in Ohio. Oh, you live in Maine. Oh, you live in Florida, Texas, wherever it is, it at least indicates to someone, even if not directly kind of saying, oh, this person did their research, it will imply to them that you're not just rolling on a bed, taking the call or the Zoom meeting. Now you're even better prepared if you read about their company, if you read about their needs, if you understand the pain that they're looking to find a resolution to, even better. Number 4 is be persistent. We've had many, many more people we've spoken with that said, thank you for being persistent, really appreciate you checking in. That ultimately turns into someone making an offer on a company, someone providing capital to a business, someone engaging us to represent them, then people that have said, I can't believe you're annoying us so much. Stop bugging me, take me off your list. If someone wants to discuss something, it doesn't mean it's going to be a yes immediately, but not every no means no forever. And if you ask for some clarity and you say, does that mean no, we're not going to do anything ever? Or no, you just prefer to postpone this dialogue? Oftentimes it's the latter. And then when you do follow up, it may take a few follow-ups 6 months down the track. The point is, at the end of the day, people value persistence more than they dislike the pings. And so yes, does it happen from time to time that someone slams a door or you catch someone the wrong day where their Starbucks coffee was made decaf? Sure. But better to be persistent, as it will yield over time many more good outcomes than bad outcomes. Number 5 is be responsive. And we've highlighted this in several of our videos, but one of the simplest ways to win the jump ball is to just respond to people quicker. So if someone was contemplating using 5 people for the services that you provide, to buy the products from what you buy, and they just wrote an email to everyone saying, hi, can you jump over the Empire State Building? Can you swim around Manhattan? If they asked a ridiculous question to 4 people, 5 people that they were contemplating using, it will still give value. If everybody said no, whoever said no first will create some incremental value, because they'll say, you know what, they told us the truth and they were honest, which is good, and we'll get to that as to one of these points as well. But just being responsive, not letting things linger. Because even if it's in the preliminary discussions, even if it's seemingly meaningless dialogue or back and forth, whatever you do then, someone will postulate as how you're going to behave the whole time. And again, it ties back to respect and consideration of their time. And when they are contemplating why they're hiring someone or why they're buying a product, it's oftentimes to buy back time. And so if they say, this person will respond on the first time without me having to ping them again, what does that mean? You save them time. Number 6, and somewhat of a nuanced response to number 5, is still have rules. Just because you're responsive does not mean you have to respond every minute of every day. It does not mean that you have no boundaries. It does not mean that you can't have rules from which you operate. Now, they can't be unreasonable to say, well, you know what? Friday afternoons from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., sitting in an ice bath, meditating while repeating affirmations in the mirror. But you can say, look, the only day you're not going to hear from us is on Sundays, because try to make that the church and family day. You might say, look, I will get back to you. However, I'm going to be out of pocket between this time to this time because of other meetings. As long as you set parameters, people will respect them. And so the implicit responsiveness conforms outside or in tandem, if you will, in conjunction with the rules you also set. Now, the key to rules is you have to actually stand by them, because if it's human nature. If you set a rule and you break it, people say, well, he didn't really care. She didn't really care about that rule, so we're not really going to respect the rules otherwise. And it's not to say that's a malevolent thing, but again, it creates patterns, it creates expectations. And so number 7, the last item, twofold, be good for your word in 2 ways. First, be honest. Don't lie. Tell people the truth. Truth isn't always pretty. Truth isn't always welcomed, isn't always the most desirable thing. And trust me, in any business, there's going to be challenging conversations. But people will respect that honesty. People will respect that you're not spinning yarn on anything. And I think the second part of that is be good for your word in terms of what you say you're going to do. If you tell somebody, and it kind of goes hand in hand with responsiveness. So if you said to someone, I'm going to respond to you by tomorrow at this time, it's also, if you gave them your word to say, I'm going to follow up with this person by this time, and I'll let you know what they say by that time, they don't want to have to go to you and say, hey, did you ever hear from this person? Hey, did you ever talk to that person? And so there's tremendous value in being good for your word, and again, creating the expectation, the trust, that you'll do the things you say you're going to do. And so lastly, one secret. Now let's recap quickly these 7 ways that we've found historically help you win the 50-50 decision. 1, be on time. 2, be respectful. 3, be prepared. 4, be persistent. 5, be responsive. 6, still have rules. 7, be good for your word. And what's the secret to all of this? The one thing we did not say is be a genius. Be brilliant. Be so unhumanly good at something. Now, all of those things certainly help. If you can be elite at something, which always should be the objective, do that. However, the vast majority of the 50-50 decisions are not going to go to the person with the highest IQ. They're not going to go to the person who can memorize the longest decimal place of pi or hold their breath underwater the longest, whatever the superlative is. It's going to go to the person who does all of these fairly unexceptional things exceptionally consistently, and as we've always said, for an exceptionally long period of time. So that's a thought for today. Hope the week continues to go well for everyone. Keep pushing forward. God bless. See you next time.